Hey guys, it's your girl Ashley Kirkwood with the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast, where we teach you how to start at the top of the speaking market instead of working your way up from the bottom. During this show, you will hear solo episodes from me, where I'll show you how I have landed and negotiated 5- and 6-figure speaking contracts and licensing deals. You'll also hear from our amazing guests who have grown enormous speaking businesses by utilizing sales and marketing principles that work. If you want to grow your speaking business, listen to this podcast, and then afterwards, head on over to ashleynicolekirkwood.shop and grab my book, Speak Your Way to Cash, How to Start at the Top of the Speaking Market instead of working your way up from the bottom. Ready to dive in? Let's go. Hey, y'all. What's up to the Speak Your Way to Cash family? It's Ashley Kirkwood back again with another podcast episode. But this time, guys, I am actually going to let you listen in to a live video that I recorded. Now, if you're listening to this live video on the podcast and you're like, oh, I want to join your next live, I want to ask you questions, I want to be able to get feedback about my business, then you have to follow me on Instagram at The Ashley Nicole Show, and make sure you're following the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook page, all right? Make sure you're following the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook page because that's where I go live. I also sometimes go live in the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook group, but enough about that. Even though you may have missed it live, you're about to hear it again. So listen into this live episode and let me know what you think. You can always send me an email to ashley@speakyourwaytocash.com. Let's listen in. Hello, you guys. It's Ashley Kirkwood with the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast. I'm so excited this morning. We have Adrian Simpson of the LinkedIn Pros with us this morning, and I'm just so excited about this conversation. We're going to be talking about LinkedIn first thing in the morning, which means you all can listen to this and then go out and fix your profiles, okay?
Right away.
Right away. So thank you, Adrian, for being here. We're so excited to have you. Let us know who you are and what you do.
Oh, love it. And so funny. That's the very first thing that I ask my clients, like, tell me who you are and what you do. And so I'm Adrian Simpson, as you mentioned, the CEO and founder of the LinkedIn Pros. I'm a LinkedIn strategist and transition coach for entrepreneurs and professionals who want to transition to more revenue and more income.
I love that. You said it so succinctly and so simply. So how did you get into LinkedIn as being like, how did you become the LinkedIn expert? Because I know that like, how do you become a LinkedIn expert? There are some people who love LinkedIn. I hear a lot of people who are Instagram experts, Facebook experts, but I don't see a lot of LinkedIn pros or professionals. I don't see a lot of LinkedIn experts, particularly LinkedIn experts with your background, because you also have an MBA, your project management, your PMP certification. You have all of the things. So how did this come to be?
Oh my gosh. It's such a great question and such a weird answer. So absolutely love LinkedIn. And it just, when I say it out loud to people, it's just like, that's really odd. However, I was looking at something recently and I joined LinkedIn October 1st of 2009. So 13 years ago, I've been hanging out with LinkedIn and just figuring the things out. And I joined primarily because I was looking for work like most people, right? Many people still think that LinkedIn is only for people who are looking for jobs. And while it's a very important platform and tool for that, it's not the only thing that LinkedIn does. But I started in that way, looking for work. I had been laid off, right? My story is I've been laid off 4 different times of working in corporate America. Most people have been laid off once, maybe twice. Well, 4 is really an anomaly. But each time I was laid off, I decided that, you know what, I've got to figure this thing out. Like, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I got to figure this thing out to move forward. And so I leveraged LinkedIn for that. I started working and figuring out the strategy that I wanted to implement and people I wanted to find and connect with because I was looking for specific types of roles. And quite frankly, I live in the Atlanta metro area. I've lived here for a million years. I absolutely love it. Always wanted to live in Atlanta. And when I was laid off, I didn't want to leave. And so for me, it made sense to, hey, let's look up and see which companies are headquartered in Atlanta, right? Because if they're headquartered in Atlanta, then they will likely have more jobs in Atlanta. We won't have a problem or an issue with potentially leaving and getting laid off again. Although that did happen. But that's how I started leveraging LinkedIn to do research and figuring out who were the right people to connect with for talent management and HR roles. And I started connecting with them. And then I would start getting into their inbox and letting them know, hey, I'm looking for this type of job, or I've applied to this role at your company. Could you please give me some additional information or follow-up? So that's really kind of how I got started. And then as I got laid off the 4th time, I decided, forget this. I'm going to start my own company.
Wow. Okay, that is a really incredible story. And so you used LinkedIn to get your next job, and then you decided you were so good at using LinkedIn that that would become your next job.
That's right.
Okay, awesome. And so when you think of LinkedIn use, and we have a lot of speakers that listen, a lot of entrepreneurs that listen, I'm curious to know, what are some big mistakes that you see, or the biggest mistakes that you've seen in people who are developing their LinkedIn profiles?
Yeah. A really big mistake that people do is to not leverage all the available real estate, right? LinkedIn has so many searchable fields. It really is just a big search engine like YouTube, like Google, right? And so each of those searchable fields allows you to really embed that rich SEO so that as someone is looking for your type of skill set or experience, you're able to be searched. If you don't have it there and if it's empty or the wrong information is there, that's a huge miss. People also don't add the graphics. Like people don't have good headshots, or their headshot is 15 years old or however many years it is. Oh, right. It's not current. They don't take advantage of the cover image in the background. That's the first thing that people see when they look at your profile. So why wouldn't you leverage that space to share something about what it is you're doing in your zone of genius? You should absolutely use that.
I love that. So we're going to show the people your LinkedIn profile, because it does leverage all the available real estate. So if you're listening to this on the podcast, go to YouTube and watch it on YouTube so you can see Adrian's LinkedIn and connect with her, number one.
Please do.
And connect with her for sure. So one of the things that she mentioned was this cover profile. I know for a lot of folks, figuring out, like, so we have the cover profile in the back, which is an image, and then you have your tagline right here.
Yeah.
Now, your tagline has an I help statement, which I believe is how mine is set up. But what about for people who have a million things that they do? How do they leverage LinkedIn? Because I know there's people who are speakers, entrepreneurs, experts, authors, moms, dads, and some people put all the things up here. Do you recommend like an I help statement, or do you recommend that they kind of put all the diversity of their taglines?
Yeah. So what I would say is, number one, LinkedIn is fluid, right? This is not a static field. This is a searchable field. You can edit it. So I would say test it out. The first thing I would do, though, is to update it and make sure. So again, this is searchable, it's editable, right? The algorithm looks for new information to bump you up and move you in the fray so that people can see your profile. And so I would start perhaps with editing an I help statement like I have, but niche down. Don't put all the things, right? Put the things that are more specific to what you're doing now. Put the things, if you're an entrepreneur, that are making you the most money. Put the things that are going to be important for the future clients that you're looking to serve on LinkedIn that they need to see, right? The things that people are searching for. You can do a quick search to find out what people are Googling or what they're searching for on LinkedIn. LinkedIn will tell you, hey, do the search for these keywords and 72,000 results come up, or whatever the number is. So you want to make sure that you're putting the things in your profile description that people are searching for. Try that. Right. And then in another 6 months or so, try something else. Don't just leave it, though, to be stagnant forever. Make sure you update and edit it.
I love that, because I've actually never thought about LinkedIn, and this is my fault, but I've never thought of it in like the testing way. So the way that you mentioned, okay, you have to test all other marketing, test your LinkedIn marketing, see whether the I help statement gets you more, or whether your another type of tagline will get you more results. That's really good. Ooh, that's so good. Okay, good. So you all have to go follow Adriane on LinkedIn, follow her company page, follow her personally, send her a message, let her know you found her on the podcast. I really appreciate that. And her profile's beautiful. And like her posts have a lot of engagement, y'all. Like seriously, y'all need to look at this. It's like 400 likes on these posts. This is crazy.
I appreciate it.
So she's doing LinkedIn right, obviously. That's why she's the LinkedIn pro. Okay, that's one big mistake, not using all the real estate. What other mistakes do you see?
I really see that people don't optimize well, right? People don't take advantage of what is available on LinkedIn. So ideally, LinkedIn is a free platform. Like you do not have to pay to leverage it, like most social media, right? But this is the one that can get you money. This is the platform that people are intentionally on to either do business, find jobs, really look for partnerships and joint ventures. And so you want to fill out all the information. You want to make sure there's a call to action on your profile. Right? So you just shared mine. In my cover image, there's a call to action. In my profile heading, there's a link that you can click to schedule time with me. That's a new feature for LinkedIn. It may seem basic, right? Or, old. You could do that on Instagram a long time ago, but for LinkedIn, it's really relatively new, like within the past few months. So you want to add a clickable link to your calendar, to your landing page, to your lead magnet, to something so that people can follow you off the platform. Because ideally, the overarching goal is to move these folks off of you and your platform into whatever funnel you have, in your email funnel, your sales funnel, whatever that is. You want to get them to follow you and follow you off the platform so you can continue to talk to them.
I really like that new feature that they've added. And I like how you're using it, because I saw on your profile, you can book the 15-minute call. So if you all need LinkedIn help, that's where you're going to go. But I also, it's a good segue into the next topic of how do you monetize LinkedIn? Because a lot of people don't utilize it for sales. We obviously recommend that all of our students start their pitch process on LinkedIn, LinkedIn or cold email. But I think LinkedIn is far more effective than cold email. So we teach to use LinkedIn, start your pitching there. What are some monetization hacks that you've seen in either yourself or your clients for people who've made money using LinkedIn? What have they done differently?
Oh, I love that question. I'm all about making money on LinkedIn. So awesome. And not enough people are thinking about LinkedIn in that way. And I think that's really a miss. So you talk about big misses, right? That's a big miss. But what you can do is, first and foremost, we're talking about optimizing your profile. The about section on LinkedIn, I think it's 2,600 characters or so is the limit. I call that the positioning statement. Here is where you're going to talk about the things that you do and do very well. Your zone of genius, the value proposition statement that you're going to lead with, that's going to tell people why they should hire you, why they should do business with you, why you are the best at doing the thing, right, that you want them to know and do and partner with you about. So for monetization, you want to lean into your zone of genius there, really clearly, explicitly explain what it is you do. And then you want to give them a call to action and a way to connect with you. So many people assume that LinkedIn shows your email address to folks as they click on your contacts or your connections. They don't. It doesn't. You have to allow that in your settings. So in Contact Me or Contact Info, I have an email address there and available. And so if you don't have that, if your settings are blocking that or hiding that, it won't show. But guess what? If I want to do business with you and we're not first level connected, I may not be able to see your email address. I have no way of contacting you. I can't do business with you. So put a call to action in your about section, put a way for them to connect with you and contact you, either phone number, email address, or your social media handles there, so that there's no guessing on what they need to do. And also reach into folks, do some really strategic searching for the right type of client, right? The folks that you want to do. I know Ashley talks about that all the time. She's really here to help you all be successful in speaking and pitching to clients. Guess what? Create a one-pager speaker sheet, right? With a link so that they can, reach into their inbox and tell them why they should hire you or why they should connect with you for speaking. And then give them a link to your speaker sheet, right? It's got to be something that you embed for them to be able to click on, but do it in their inbox, in their InMail. And then put a bit.ly link, some way to have analytics so if people are clicking on that, so you can see if it is actually working for you.
I like that a lot. And I love the analytics piece of it, y'all. We have to start tracking everything. It's the only way you can make decisions. I mean, literally,
absolutely.
One of the things, I think a big mistake that people make just in general is not knowing enough about where their business is coming from. So you don't know what link they click. You don't know what email worked. You don't know whether the message was accepted. You don't know if you have new connections this week or none. I mean,
right.
You have to start tracking. So that is so good. Now, what are some LinkedIn faux pas, things that you should not do on the platform when reaching out via direct message? Because I'm a big fan of the DMs. I think it goes down in the DMs on LinkedIn, not for any inappropriate reasons, but for business reasons. LinkedIn DMs are where it's at. That's where the dollars reside, at least for us.
That's right.
And I think that we don't do enough with content on LinkedIn. We could do better with content, but we do a lot with direct messaging and reaching out to people who we want to meet with. So what are some faux pas? Because I know you've seen it all. I know that you have some insight into what should not be happening on the platform.
Yes. Number one, so many. But number one, I would say really not taking the time to be specific about what you're reaching out to folks for, why you're connecting with them. In your head, they're your ideal perfect client, and that you have all this great goodness that you want to share. You've done research on their company, and that they've got a lack of whatever it is you're selling, right? They've got a gap and you want to fill it. You know how to do it, but you don't say any of that in the DM. You just say, hey, connect with me. And they're like, who is this? Because you also don't have your profile updated, so they can even look back at your profile to glean right from there what it is that you do. So really having a very thorough plan of action in terms of updating your profile and information, reaching into their DM with specific content about how you're going to serve them.
It is here. The Speak Your Way to Cash book is now available for you to purchase. Go to Amazon to get your audio, Kindle, or hardcover copy of the book. And we have a paperback copy, okay? So you can get it on Audible and listen to it. And I read it myself. So if you love the podcast, you will love the audiobook. Go get it now. Speak Your Way to Cash, how to start at the top of the speaking market instead of working your way up from the bottom. A bit about the book. It's broken down into 6 parts, and it is over 260 pages of goodness, okay? Part 1 covers mindset. Part 2 covers getting yourself in the press. Part 3 covers assembling your 6-figure offer. Part 4 covers inviting people to work with you, sales. Part 5 covers delivering an outstanding speech. And Part 6 covers legalities that every speaker needs and how to build a team. I mean, literally, what did we leave out? Nothing. So go to Amazon and grab your copy today. And let me know you did it too.
Yeah,
Right?
that value.
The value, leading with that, and then asking them for the connection, and then not giving up, right? And I don't mean hound and harass people in their DMs, absolutely not. But I really want you all to have between a 3 and 5, right, DM sequence of how you're going to serve them. Because once they connect with you, that's the beginning. That's not the end, right? Hey, connect with me. I have this information. I want to sell you. I want to not sell you. I'm sorry. I want to share with you, right? Here's how I can better serve you. Because I've done some research on who you are and maybe the gaps that you have. And I want to talk about some challenges that you're experiencing. And then once they connect, then you want to share with them some additional information, right? And then you want to ask them how they can partner with you, how they can have a 15-minute free discovery call with you or a conversation so you can get into more depth and really lean into how you want to serve them and their audience, right? So it's really not missing the opportunity to continue the conversation and being one and done.
Okay, I love that. Now, 3 to 5 sounds like work. And y'all know, I know there's someone listening right now who's like, I was all in to everything else, but 3 to 5 follow-ups, I got to update my profile. This all sounds like too much work, Adrian, and I'm trying to get the easy money. Like, how long is this really going to take? So we teach corporate sales, so it is a process. But Adrian, if someone is just starting out, they're going to update their profile today after listening to this incredible podcast episode. What is the average sales cycle they should be anticipating if they're looking to generate leads from LinkedIn or generate clients from LinkedIn? So how long from when they send that introduction message on LinkedIn to landing an actual client? What are some sales timelines that you're seeing?
You're not going to like this answer, friend. You know what I'm going to say? It depends. So I'll give you some real life examples, right? So LinkedIn is really the long game. LinkedIn is the long game, but it's the long game for lucrative contracts and deals, right? So if you're asking me, I've seen people I'll use myself as an example. I closed a 5-figure deal in one weekend. But I also have deals that have taken a couple of months. So it depends on what it is your clients are looking for, what their appetite is for what you're selling and serving, how long you've had the relationship, right? If you're doing any sort of follow-up, what their budget cycle is. But I'm going to tell you though, it's very worth it because there are 4, 5, and 6-figure contracts being managed every day on LinkedIn. You will never know unless you dip your toe in this water and figure it out. I'm telling you, there's so much money and just goodness to be had leveraging the platform that a lot of people are missing out on because they don't want to do any work. They want a quick sales cycle. But I'm literally telling you that I closed a deal with a Fortune 50 company in a weekend.
A weekend, y'all. It's possible.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's possible. And I mean, the other thing is when your profile's optimized, people reach out to you. And that is where we've seen a lot of just quicker success. It's like they are calling me. I don't really have to sell them if they want me because they've seen the profile and they're like, this is what, and they will parrot the language in your profile in the DM. Like, hey, I see that you help women overcome imposter syndrome. We want to bring you in to do a keynote. Like that type of stuff is really, really impactful. So I love that you said that. So we dug into what we should be doing on LinkedIn, but I want to hear more about the LinkedIn pros. What services do you provide and how do you work with your clients to ensure they have success on LinkedIn?
Oh, awesome. So we do work with our clients in many different ways. So we do brand definition, we do brand development, we do brand positioning, meaning we really help some of our clients figure out how to tell their story on LinkedIn. I love the fact that you teach folks how to tell and sell their story, right, via speaking engagements. And that's all that we do on LinkedIn. We help them really create and define their brand on LinkedIn, because a lot of people are really there. The last time they looked at LinkedIn or focused on it, they were looking for a job. And so now they've got this awesome business that you've grown on Facebook and Instagram and you've neglected LinkedIn. That's okay. And so we really help people to position themselves there for larger, more lucrative contracts. We also help people to really catapult themselves to the next level. So we do a lot of content creation. We do nurturing for clients. We have done for you and done with you services where we really teach our clients the best ways to manage and leverage LinkedIn. We help our clients position position themselves for greater, right? To get in forefront, to be able to manage and search for those larger contracts as well. That takes a lot more diligence and a lot more effort, but we do that for our clients who don't have the time. They're just really busy, but they really want to take advantage of LinkedIn for these larger contracts. We do that as well. And then for some of our clients, we do lead generation for them. We find the exact leads. We do a lot of research and a lot of digging to optimize and find their target avatar, especially those clients who kind of think they know who they're selling to, but aren't really sure. So we ask them really specific and pointed questions, and then we find who they want to talk to. And it's really, I mean, it's like throwing a rock and just hitting a whole bunch of fish in a pond and having your pick of who you want to start talking to. So I love that aspect of the business where we're really helping our clients to define and refine their messaging so that when we find their ideal client, now it's just a no-brainer for them. They've got to have your services because you're talking exactly to them.
I love that. Now, okay, so you clearly are a LinkedIn connoisseur, okay? You know all the things about LinkedIn. You work with a lot of clients, seen some things they've done right, seen some things they've done wrong. What do you want the business owner who is not on LinkedIn to know about getting on the platform and why it's urgent they do it right now?
Yeah, I want them to know that while they feel like they've mastered advertising on other platforms or using and leveraging other social media platforms for their business, they are missing out on so much opportunity by not even trying LinkedIn. Because LinkedIn is the platform where people are expecting to do business. They're expecting it. They're here for business. They're not here to play games. They're not here to connect with friends, right? To chat with friends. They're not here for idle time. They are literally here looking for the best place to do business and looking for vendors with whom they can do business. So if you're not leveraging the platform and you're not looking to include that, incorporate that in your social media and marketing platform, you're really missing out. And I'm not saying that even if you don't work with me, right? But you should go on there anyway, just to figure out how you can best leverage the platform because you're really missing out on lots of money.
Yes, I love that. I love that. And you guys just get on LinkedIn. There's no downside. Even if what you did was just listen to the profile tips that Adrian gave today and started doing that, that would be a really big game changer for you and your business as well. So you definitely want to make sure that you are taking heed to what was discussed here. So now you've also built a business and sustained a business for several years. You've had the LinkedIn Pros for over 3 years. You've worked in other companies. You have several years of experience, decades worth of experience. What has helped you to grow your business over the years?
Oh, wow. You know what? Hiring a coach. Well, I'll tell you, because I have an MBA. You mentioned that earlier in the interview. I have an MBA. I graduated from Florida A&M University School of Business Industry.
All right.
Go Rattlers. And so for a long time, though, just to be transparent, I didn't think I needed any extra help. Whew. How many business owners think they know it all? I didn't think I knew it all. Let me say that. I didn't think I knew it all, but I think I knew enough, right? I thought I knew enough to be successful. And I could plod along a little bit, right? I figured some things out, but there is such a vast array of information that's available, especially with the advent of social media, right? You can learn any and everything, and you can YouTube your way to a certain level. But I knew that to move forward and to really propel my business forward, I needed to hire a coach. And that's how I moved my business forward, for sure.
I love that. And were you, because I know there are some people who are just like, oh, everyone keeps talking about hiring a coach. Why do I have to invest in myself? Goodness, Ashley, it's too much money. It's too much time. So did you not hire a coach beforehand because of the financial investment, or was it because you felt like you were doing good enough?
Ooh, that's a good one. You about to stick it to me and I'm about to tell you. So I didn't even think about hiring a coach before. Like, I just knew that I had this degree that I've already paid for. I
Right.
should be able to figure this thing out, right? And again, I did to a certain extent, but I didn't know what I didn't know. And then I messed around and got exposed to some folks, right? I got exposed to a business conference. And I will tell you, the first time I went and I was there sitting amongst all these business owners and they were sharing all this information, I was skeptical and I didn't move on it, right? I came home and I was like, whatever. I didn't know enough about it. I'm a researcher. I mean, I've got a researcher down to the penny. Like, if we're going to buy a TV, I've got to research 10 TVs. I'm getting my husband hates it too. I've got to get all the details, all the specifics before I can choose like this one. And so sometimes that causes me to be paralyzed and not make better decisions faster, right? But the second time I went back for the same conference, I was like, let me just go back again. I kept getting invited in my email. And I went back again. And this time I was sitting there and it was virtual. And so my husband was next to me, right? He was working and moving around, but he was sitting next to me. This was 2020. And so I said, hey, I want you to listen to this and tell me what you think. He's very objective, right? He didn't have any dog in the fight. And so he listened and he said, well, if you don't try it, you'll never know what can happen. And that was enough for me. And I have been with my coach in this program for this is my third year. And so it's been amazing.
Yeah. And I would say to you all, like, get some coaches with a S.
Absolutely.
Because one of the things that I realize is like I can learn one thing if I join one program, but I can learn multiple things if I have several different coaches and consultants. And I just don't believe in Googling more than 2 hours. So like, and now it's probably like 20 minutes, but my old rule used to be if I have to look it up for more than 2 hours, I'm hiring someone. I don't know who, but I'm going to hire someone.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And now it's probably like 20 minutes. Now it's like, isn't there somebody else that could do this or that's already done this, that could teach me this? And so I would say one of the biggest mistakes that I see clients make all the time is that they get really caught up in like thinking that they have to just learn everything themselves. Like, I've already committed to this one thing. And then I also hear people say, I'm already in learning mode, so I have to stop learning and then I have to implement. And I'm like, no, you have to do both at the same time.
Both.
Especially with the goals that our clients have, Adrian. You know how they want 6-figure contracts, they want $1 million years, they want $20 million months. And then it's like, but you only want to hire one person to learn one thing and they got to be less than $2,000 a month. Like,
oh my gosh.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, please.
It's not adding up. Like, we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to make more than that. So like, I don't know. I mean, but if y'all got the cheat code to spend $10 and make 10 million, let the girl know, because I am down for it. Okay.
I've got a couple of $10, but can I just say this one thing too?
Yes, of course.
Like number one, so listen, I'm not here to diminish anyone's ideas or thoughts about that. I'm not spending anybody's money for them. I'm just telling you what I've done and what's worked for me, right? And I think Ashley's doing the same. But I will tell you though, if your concern is about recouping your money and not investing in yourself, then you're already thinking wrong. You're already not, you don't have the right mindset. Number one. Number two, get with a good CPA. It's going to help you write these things off on your business taxes.
Oh, that's so, yeah. You know what? That's such a good point that we never bring up. All this is a write-off anyways. Like, you get every last your thing. Business, write it off. I have people who were like, this one woman, I mean, God bless her. I remember she was like messaging me. She's like, well, I just spent X amount of dollars on a coach. And it was like a $300 thing for the business. And I was just like, I'm not going to sell you on a $300 investment in your business. $300, ma'am. It is $300. Like, there is nothing I could do to, what are we doing here? So I will say that's a really good point. You write this stuff off. But for me, in learning, because I met Adrian through a community that I invest in. So I've met so many amazing people. And I was telling some of my audience yesterday, I've never lost money on an investment because I can either get it back from the information. I could get it back from a relationship I gain in the program. I could get it back just from their back end stuff. Sometimes you win and get all three. Thank God for other programs that we're in. But like, literally, I just don't lose on investing. And it doesn't matter if the coach is worth it. I'm always worth it. So invest in yourselves, guys. Like, literally, check Adrian out. You're not going to figure out LinkedIn. If you haven't figured out LinkedIn and you've been in business over 2-3 years, let's not kid ourselves. Like, more than likely, we're not going to just Google our way to the top with LinkedIn. You might as well invest in getting some help with it. And then Adrian and I have some collaborations coming soon. I'll let you guys know once everything's inked, but excited to work with you further on that, Adrian. But how can they get in touch with you, learn more about LinkedIn, how it can grow their business and the services that you offer?
Oh, love. Let me just say this, if I may, friend. I'm just going to say this before I get into that. Y'all have a gem in Ashley Kirkwood. This Speak Your Way to Cash whole ecosystem is just amazing. And so when she says we met in the community, we absolutely did. And I just leaned into her energy, right? I leaned into the value that she's been given since day one. So if you're here, you're listening to the podcast, you're in her ecosystem, kudos to you, right? If you're not already investing in this program, then you're missing out, and you should be doing that, because I know she's giving a ton of great value and information just by having speakers come in and speak to you live, right? She's given this value, and she's proven to her audience that she's worth the investment. So anyway, I just want to say that.
Thank you.
So awesome. And then connecting with me, listen, you can click on my website, thelinkedinpros.com, and there's many ways to connect with me there. Absolutely connect with me on LinkedIn for sure. I do several trainings throughout the year. I've got one coming up within the next few months, and I'm happy if y'all connect with me. Happy to share with more information about that in the coming months. I really just am focused, especially in Q3 of calendar year 2022, right? I'm focused on bringing more value to businesses to share how you can leverage LinkedIn for cash and for contracts, right? I don't think that enough people are using the tools I mentioned before. So my mission, my mantra is just to make sure that LinkedIn feels accessible to people. They're able to tap into that and really figure out how you can get these larger contracts.
Yes, for sure. Tia's like, will you be at Speak Your Way to Cash live this year? We need you. Y'all, we working on it. Give us some time, okay?
We're talking.
We're in talks, all right? Yeah, so we'll definitely work that out. But I'm excited, you guys. Like, I'm excited for what Adrian has to offer. Please follow her. Check everything out that she has to offer. And check out, just look at how she uses LinkedIn. Look at the engagement on her posts. Like, you learn so much just from being in proximity to people who are doing the things that you want to do. So take advantage of that. And then you guys know this episode should air before the next Pitch Your Way to Cash challenge. It's coming up at the end of the month. So make sure you check into that. If you don't have your ticket to Speak Your Way to Cash Live, you're missing out. Get your ticket. We're going to sell out this event. That's just what we're going to do. We're committed to it. Okay. We're committed to it. So it's happening. So I'm excited for all of you that we'll see there. And I will let you all know about the collabs that we have coming up with Adrian. I'll keep you all posted on that. Y'all know I got to get contracts signed and everything. So we'll figure it out. All right. But Adrian, this will not be your last time talking to the Speak Your Way to Cash community. I'm so excited about everything that you have going on. Give us your website one more time for those listening on the podcast who can't see it. And then also let them know once again where they can find you.
Oh, love it. Again, the website is www, right? That's old school, right? www.thelinkedinpros.com. Certainly connect with me on LinkedIn, Adrian Simpson on LinkedIn. You can find me on Facebook for sure, but I hang out on LinkedIn a lot. So if you're looking for valuable information, content there, certainly reach out to me there and then follow me on the LinkedIn Pros. I'm looking forward to speaking to folks. I'm looking forward to sharing value and information. Listen, I'm just looking forward to helping more people get more knowledge about LinkedIn and be able to leverage it.
Amazing. Well, thank you again for your time. You all know where to find her, and I will check you guys out next time.
All right, wasn't that interview amazing? If you're anything like me, you have pages full of notes. But here's the thing. Before you head out, I want you to go to facebook.com and join the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook group. That is where I am. That's where a ton of other speakers are, a ton of other people who listen to the show. We all congregate there and chat. And it's 100% free. Now, if you're ready to take your speaking career to the next level, I have two ways for you to do that. One, you can go to ashleynicolekirkwood.com/SYWTC live replay and pick up the live replay. That training is 7 modules, chock full of information. It's crazy. Go over there, read all about it. Or if you want a more personal experience, you already know that you want to be a speaker. You're ready to fully commit and you want someone to walk you through it and save you tons of time Googling and doing it on your own, then book a VIP day with me. You can go to ashleynicolekirkwood.com, scroll down until you see the VIP day section and get more information on that there. All right. Thank you guys again for watching. Please do not forget to leave us a review. That is how we keep this train rolling and get some of the best speakers in the world to get on this show. So please, please, please leave a review. Shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram, and Facebook in the Speak Your Way to Cash group, Instagram at The Ashley Nicole Show. And I'd be more than happy to chat with you and say hi. All right, y'all have an awesome, awesome day.